Hello everyone, and welcome back to my new channel. Today I will be reading 2 short stories about demons. So let's get right into them, shall we? The Demon in My Room. It was a Tuesday afternoon. After a tough day at school, I went home and went straight to sleep. I woke up, or at least I thought I did, and there was a demon-like figure stood at the end of my bed. It had a crooked back with scaly skin and long, scrawny nails, long black matted hair with deep red eyes like it had been awake for days upon days. I got out of bed and ran towards my door. As I reached my door, I looked back at my bed, and I saw something else, not just the demon at the end of my bed. I saw myself sleeping. I was so confused. I thought I was awake. The demon at the end of my bed now was walking towards me like a zombie, slow with its arms out ready to grab me. It was smiling at me, showing his or her black-stained crooked teeth. I ran downstairs and out my front door. I seen a little girl at the end of my driveway crying. As I ran, she chased me, screaming my name louder and louder, until poof, I was awake, sweating, crying, and shaking like a leaf. How could something like this happen? Was I asleep? Or was this something I should seriously worry about? Let me start off with a little backstory. I had a step-grandpa, changing names to protect my family. His name was Red. I would usually call him by his name. He was paralyzed on the whole right half of his body and brain from a stroke back when I was a small child. My stepdad, changing his name too, Stan, and the rest of my family always took care of Red, so we gave him a bell and he didn't have a bedroom door for safety reasons. I had just turned 16 years old about a week before this happened. 2 days after my birthday, Red passed away once he signed the house over to the bank. This was the house he grew up in, and Stan, my stepfather, was raised in. This house was supposed to go to Stan after Red's passing. I wish I could say that the figure I seen was Red. I would give anything for it to have been Red instead. The house was empty, and my parents were in their room finishing up with packing their last couple of boxes. I was sitting outside when the police showed up. They asked to speak with my parents, so I ran to get them. After knocking on their door, letting them know police were on the front step wanting to speak with them, I turned to look down the hallways into the doorway of Red's old room. At first, I smiled. I said, "I see you, Grandpa," and he was always so happy when I called him that. He knew I could see spirits sometimes, so I thought that's why he was there. I started walking towards him and asked if he has found peace. That's when I realized it wasn't Red. My heart started racing. It became hard to breathe. I couldn't control the fact that I was still walking towards this thing. It was a black, shadowy man who was tall and buff with a large top hat on top of his head. His hands looked like claws as he pointed at me. I tried so hard not to move, and I screamed, "Stan! Help!" That's when my stepdad flung open his bedroom door and looked down the hallway to see the same figure I did. At the same time, the police officer heard me scream for help and ran in with his gun drawn and pointed it at the shadowy figure. The officer couldn't believe his eyes. He stepped back, and so did my stepfather. That's when I screamed, "You can't have me! Leave me alone! Go away!" And at that moment, I felt myself able to stop moving towards it, but it still hadn't left. At that moment, I said, "I am stronger than you will ever be. You can't take me." And the officer yelled for us to get down on the ground. So we did just that. However, the dark figure faded away, and the officer turned the corner and asked us what that was. I told him I believed it to be a demon. He laughed at me and asked us not to pull pranks and said someone could have seriously gotten hurt. I said it wasn't a prank, but after that, we all went to the front yard and calmed down. I am 20 years old now, and I have yet to see that black, shadowy figure ever again. Thank you guys so much for listening. I really enjoyed these 2 short stories. I always enjoy stories about demons and angels. I think those are very interesting. And the fact that some people can almost feel by their intuition that is some evil entity, some evil spirit, is also very interesting to me. I have many other videos coming up on a couple different subjects. Some have a couple mixed stories. They're not all ghost stories. Some are Glitch in the Matrix. Some are about imaginary friends. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay spooky. Subscribe.